Your boy Derek, he got addicted to snowboarding.
Man, shut up, bro. That's where we end this conversation.
Then he tore his ACL. He was like, I never do it again.
He got wide ass hips. That's why he tore his goddamn ACL. You talking about he was 6'5", black as hell with a badass body on a snowboard. That's the fuck he get. He got a torn Achilles too.
He went down to Black Diamond.
He built like a penguin. You talking about he tore his knee up. No shit. Why didn't you call somebody? Where was the instructor at? Where were the people at?
No, he got good. He was really good.
No, he did not.
He was on a Black Diamond.
No, he was black on a diamond.
He was at this.
So no, he did not. Stop, bro. Support for Point Forward comes from Nissan. A call to adventure is just that. It's a call, and you should answer it. The 2024 Nissan Pathfinder has everything you need to get out there and find your own adventure. It's built to handle every epic route you can throw at it, like muddy jungle paths, snowy trails, and rolling sand dunes. The Pathfinder also has an available, intelligent 4-wheel drive and offers 7 different drive modes, so you'll never have to wonder, can my car handle this ever again? Adventure better with the 2024 Nissan Pathfinder. Learn more at nissanusa.com. Intelligent 4-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Welcome back to another episode of Point Forward. Today, we are super excited to have an incredibly talented and inspiring guest with us. You might recognize her from Cornflakes Boxes, cover of Time, and Sports Illustrated. She's a powerhouse on the slopes, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 7-time X Games gold medalist. Welcome to the show, Chloe Kim.
Point Forward.
We're glad to have you on here and, a big fan of what you do. So let's try to start in on, the basics of how'd you first get into snowboarding? You started at 4, right?
Yeah, so I started snowboarding at 4. My dad, when he moved to California, he heard that you could go to the mountains and the beach in the same day. And he really wanted to try that. So he decided to take me. And that's kind of how I got my start. It was all an accident. We never imagined that it would be my career whatsoever. Obviously growing up in a Korean household, the idea was that I would go to a good school, med school, law school, along those lines. And it still gets brought up to this day.
You'll get in trouble if you stereotype like that. You can't say that out loud. This is where y'all gonna go. But then every person you meet, they're like, no, I'm supposed to go here.
No, exactly. And it's so funny because even now my parents will bring it up to me. They'll be like, so maybe when you retire, going back to school, we think you'd be a really good lawyer. And I'm like, have I not done enough?
Like I'm already lit. What else do you want? I want to rest on my laurels.
Exactly. I'm like, maybe just give me a couple years to just chill and enjoy my life. It's not like I've dedicated my entire life to this sport, but yeah, it's still a conversation that's being had.
Yeah, but you're still able to go back to school. You took a break from snowboarding and you started taking classes at Princeton, correct?
Yes, that's true. And then I dropped out.
Well, what went into that matter? Did you want to just, be a real girl, or did you want to, did you have FOMO, or were you really burnt out and need a break from, the sport of snowboarding?
This man said a real girl.
No, I'm saying because certain people want to be like a real kid, and no, I want to go do that part. Yeah, what my friends are doing, not a real girl, like Pinocchio, a real boy.
Yes, I'm a real girl. That
was terrible. I'm sorry. I just realized that.
No, I get what you mean. But yes, absolutely. A little bit of everything. I was homeschooled since 7th grade. So I didn't really get to experience a normal, environment when it came to school. And that's something I really wanted to explore because all of my friends were really sport, athletes or whoever I met, outside of my sport or people in my sport. That was kind of my only social circle. And also me being, in Orange County at the time, I was feeling really lonely and I just thought it'd be cool to try something else. And obviously with all the pressure and expectation that I had endured post-Olympics, I just thought it would be nice to do something different for once. And it was nice. I'm still really good friends with everyone I met there. It was such an amazing experience for me. So I'm really happy I did that.
You say you started at 4 years old, and I'm kind of fast forward 10 years later. You qualified for the Olympics, but you're too young to make the Olympics. I didn't know there was an age limit because I think in gymnastics you can be that young, right? And so walk me through that 10 years from 4 to 14. And when did you start to realize that you were an elite snowboarder?
I think I realized I was pretty good around the time. Even when I was 5, I started going, my first mountain was Mountain High. It's like an hour and a half away from LA, and it's, pretty cute. But we chose that mountain because they had night boarding available, so I could go after school. And I remember, one of the coaches on that, coached a team in Mountain High had seen me practice with my dad, and he had a conversation with my dad and was, telling him I was really good and that I had potential and inviting me to join the freestyle team that they had. And that's kind of when I thought I might be good because I got scouted kind of. And then as I got older, I started winning competitions, in my age division, whatnot. Won some international contests when I was 9. And I think with the accolades just came this confidence where I started to realize that, I might be good at this. But I didn't really know until I started competing at pro level events when I was 12 and I was making semifinals and then would land on every single podium at 13.
And did you moved to the Alps for a little bit too, right?
Yeah, so I lived in Switzerland for 2 years. I lived in Geneva with my aunts. My parents wanted me to learn French, which I'm really grateful they did. It is kind of useless in America. No one speaks French here, so it's something that phases in and out, which is a shame.
I feel like it only benefits men to speak French. You know what I mean? And that's it. Not in a disrespectful sense. I'm saying it's a language of love type situation.
For sure. I feel like whenever I'm in, Paris or the French-speaking side of Switzerland and a guy's speaking in French, I'm like, oh, I could see how this is a cute thing. But for me, I'm it's just too confusing at this point because I'm trilingual. I speak Korean as well. So I'm very confused all the time. But while I lived in Switzerland, my dad would fly over from the States and go take me to the mountains so I could train. And that's when I kind of discovered my love for half-pipe snowboarding.
Did you ever think one day you were going to be Chloe Kim, the 7-time, gold medalist and everything, or 2-time gold medalist and everything? Or were you just yo, what's behind this door? Okay, I did this. This was great. Okay, I'll try this out next. What was the whole plan for it? Was it dominance or was it just...
I still talk about how I feel like I have imposter syndrome in a way. I never expected this to be a thing for me. Again, just growing up in Southern California, and there not being a lot of women that look like me doing sport, especially, Asian Americans. There aren't many in my sport. So I just didn't really see a world. I couldn't picture it, I couldn't see it for myself. But then I realized that I had to be the person for the next generation. So now there's so many up and coming Asian American girls snowboarding and trying it for the first time because of me and my career. But for me personally, I was there's no way I'm doing this. I thought I was going to quit when I was 12 and just go a normal route. And then things just started looking up out of nowhere. It literally happened out of nowhere because I started doing these bigger competitions when I was 12, competing against all my idols, people I'm looking up to, on the same start list as them. And then the year after that, I'm on the podium standing next to them. And qualified for the Olympics when I was 13, the Sochi Olympics. I was too young to go. I needed to be 15 to be eligible. And I think when that happened, when I actually qualified, I was oh shit, I could actually make this happen. I got to experience this qualification process, which is so stressful, mind you. It is so freaking stressful. But being able to do that without the pressure of actually having to go was nice.
So walk me through the skill set it takes to be just a snowboarder in general, or, because I don't think I could do that. Or how would you teach someone how to go off a half pipe and to just build up that most speed and momentum and just all the tricks of the trade that it takes? What are some fundamentals that you can kind of correlate through video to us, through video conferencing?
Yeah, it's so funny. My dad was my coach for the longest time until I was 13, and he knew nothing about snowboarding, still doesn't know too much about snowboarding, but my dad was an engineer, so he was really well versed in physics. So he would use those concepts and kind of try to translate it over. And sometimes it worked and other times it definitely did not work. But I think that's what is so beautiful about this whole career of mine, is that I actually learned everything with my dad. Watching people like Shaun White. Like, my dad would always go to the events and film the women and the men like competing at the pro events, because I'd be doing the junior level events, but they would still be there. And so he would show up whenever they went, film every single person, and that night we would just do video review for hours, watching all these people go and watch their technique and see how we could incorporate that into my snowboarding. And it's really cool. I think there's beauty in not knowing what the hell you're doing and just figuring it out as well.
Well, do you think had you been able to qualify and been old enough, do you think you had a chance to really have won the gold? Because in 2018, you ended up winning the gold. So you think you could have done it at 14?
I don't know if I would have been able to. I don't think I would have been able to win, but maybe get a medal. But also the conditions were just horrible. I don't know if you guys saw like what they had to do to keep the conditions good, but they were just hosing the snow down with water, just doing anything they could, and none of it worked. So the fact that any of these girls were able to pull through is a miracle.
I'm trying to think, is there because like in basketball, you got to be a certain height. Your body has to have a certain physique. Is it taller is better, shorter is better? Is there a certain type of physique you have? Like F1 drivers have to be a certain height and weight. Like, what are the requirements? Is there like a requirement to be a great snowboarder?
There's really no requirement. I mean, I'm average height. I want to say I'm like 5'5". But there are girls that are taller. There are guys that are like 6'2" that are still really good. So I mean, I don't think a 6'8" person would be that great at snowboarding. I don't think that would work, and the falls would probably suck. You might be one and done situation. But if you're in, I don't know, like the 4'11" to 6'3" 4 range, like
4'11"
to 6'3".
I mean, when I was a kid and I was like doing really well, at 13, like 5 feet tall, maybe smaller. So yeah, I don't think it really matters. I just think as long as you're strong, and able to take impact, that's all you need.
Well, as you've been, continuing to make your rounds and build your reputation, in snowboarding, how have you seen it cross over, outside snowboarding and the culture? Even I was telling Dre, I'm like, yo, between you and Eileen Gu, you two are like the waviest, like youngins, like walking. And I'm like, bro, I think I saw you speak at South by Southwest, and I was like, yo, this is the waviest out. And I'm glad we got the interview. But how have you been able to cross over and be able to show some of that flair, especially considering you've had a unique path? It's not like you've been around your own age group or kids, or being, you've always had to be off and worry about your sport and committed to the future.
Yeah, I just think everything happened and I just had to figure it out as I went. But as the years go by and the more things, I'm able to accomplish, or whatever new goals I set, those always become a priority, and I feel like everything else is secondary. But am I really grateful for the platform I've been given, the opportunities that I've had? Absolutely. And none of it would be possible without my sport. So in a lot of ways, snowboarding will always be a priority for me, and I'll enjoy all the other things. But it's been really cool as well. Like, people that I think are cool, like actors or musicians or whatever, these people like recognizing me when we're out at events, or, like, that's all cool and all. But I just really do love my sport. And I feel like at the end of the day, that becomes a priority, and everything else is just, I'll do it if I have time to.
What's your top perk? What's the thing you enjoy the most that comes from the sport?
I think I love traveling. I love to travel and explore new places. These days, the places I go to aren't new. I've been going to them for so long and training in the same, spots. But my favorite thing truly about my sport is seeing how far I can push myself as well. I think I'm constantly challenging myself and doing things that I never thought I'd be able to do. I just learned a couple new tricks this last season that I never dreamt of doing, and here we are now. So I think those wins mean so much to me, and obviously being able to do them in competition is a dream.
Oh, that's super interesting because I want to go into, I watched the X Games. So, yeah, I need to know this first. I watched the X Games religiously growing up as a kid. The BMX, the biking was really cool to me. Your bike would get stolen if you left it for 2 seconds where I come from. And that was the means of transportation. So, so like putting pegs on a bike, going to a bike store, looking at GTs and dynos. And then like the skateboarders, like I was never going to get into skateboarding, but like big Tony Hawk fan. Tony Hawk on PlayStation was like the greatest game of all time. So like I've been watching the X Games for a while. But my question is, you're 7-time gold medalist for the X Games, right? What's the difference? And then you're a 2-time world champion?
Olympic gold medalist, right?
But there's world championships too, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many world championships I've won.
A bar, right?
That was like what she said. That was like when she said, like, I want a break, so I just enrolled in Princeton. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, what? No, you go to community college. You don't go to Princeton if you need a break. But
overachiever over here.
Yeah.
So, what's the difference between the X Games and the World Championships?
Oh, I mean, I think the World Championships are every 2 years, so that's a thing. And it always falls kind of the year after the Olympics or like leading into the Olympics, which is stressful. Like they're kind of in, I don't know, it just ends up being one of the more difficult times to get ready for a World Championship. I don't think I did the last one. But I think the X Games are really cool because they definitely are really athlete forward. Like we'll always try to make the best setup for us, best conditions. And I think that's why there's so much progression that's happened in the X Games in every sport, because they allow that environment for us. And I think a lot of the other times, some events, in my perfect world, we have a perfect half pipe all the time. So we could just continue pushing and, doing some of the craziest tricks you've ever seen. But a lot of the times it's just not possible with the conditions. I think about, a competition I did recently in Mammoth, and it was just so windy. And for me, obviously, the priority is to stay safe. And I actually ended up going to the hospital at that contest, which is not fun, but we're all good now. But I would say X Games is always so consistent in the sense where I can always put my best snowboarding forward and know that I'll be safe and in good hands.
What's your favorite trick you ever landed? Like this past year, you had a cab 1260. What do you think? I grew up playing 1080 the snowboarding game, so I know you hit that a couple times too. So that's pretty impressive. But how do you know, like, all right, after the 1080, I think I can pull like the 1260, or like what goes into, pushing those limits and kind of not dying from doing so? Because that's kind of crazy what you did. Your run in January was pretty dope.
Thank you. I kind of went dormant for a while with tricks. I think I got kind of comfortable in a sense where I was like, oh, whatever, I could just keep doing this. And again, that was kind of when I was younger too, after my first win. I didn't really learn tricks for a few years. And it got to a point where I was kind of bored of the runs I was doing, watching myself snowboarding. I just didn't like it too much. So the shift happened where I was like, oh, let me just try something that's never really been done before. And also I'm watching the men go and try these tricks for the first time and gaining some inspiration from them as well and seeing that it's possible. And so deciding that I wanted to go try these things. And it's been really fun. And I'm really grateful that pivot happened because it allowed for so much more inspiration for my snowboarding. And it made me excited to go back out there, and excited to go push myself even further. And one of my favorite tricks I just learned a couple of months ago, so I can't share, but I
know what it is.
What is it?
It's the 1440.
That's what I figured. I thought she's going for the 1752, but the 1440 does sound about right. And then in 2028, the 1752 will come out.
Yeah, that one's fun, but I actually learned another one that is fun too. So yeah, have a couple new tricks. I'm really excited.
What's the McTwist?
The McTwist is like a front flip, like a front barrel roll. Oh, are you talking like backside?
Yeah. Backside.
Yeah. So there's front side, which is your natural stance spinning to down Honestly, I can't even describe it. I kind of have to show because it's so confusing because some people are regular footers and then I'm goofy. So it looks different for everybody.
That's what y'all call orthodox. Unorthodox is the goofy. That's what y'all call it.
Yeah.
You ride different, right? You have like a different way of riding, right?
Yeah, I think everyone has a different way of riding, which is really cool because a lot of the times when I'm on the chairlift, I'll see my friends, riding down and I can tell who's who, even if they all wear the same exact outfit, just from like their style. Some people ride with their hands up, other people are like really slouchy and lax, like other people are really stiff. It's just cute. I do this thing with my hands, I think, where I kind of go like this. I don't know. Everyone has their thing.
Do you still like just hit like regular ski resorts for fun and just, snowboard, or is that like kind of not like a thing? To us, it's like, do you go play basketball outside? And we're like, every blue moon, I guess. But is that still like a thing? Is it still fun for you to snowboard just in your leisure?
Yes. I'm such an adrenaline junkie, though. Like, I need to be scared. Like, I need to be in a situation where I'm freaked out. That gives me life. So sometimes just cruising groomers it's like I could do it for an hour or so, and then I'm like, where's the park? I need to go do something else, like learn something or try something fun. But I do really enjoy backcountry, like powder riding. So if there's a big storm, I'll try to make it out there and get some fresh turns in.
Dude, you dangerous. So you dangerous.
Yeah, like damn. I'm glad you're not a surfer. I'll be like, bro, where are you at today? It's a big blizzard and you're outside risking your life.
Oh, it's so fun. Like, I think snowboarding is such a community too. Like, a lot of the times you'll hit up your friends who are at the same mountain. You'll meet up and go ride together, and it's so much fun. Highly recommend. Have you guys been?
Never. I mean, we weren't allowed to contractually. We're not allowed to ski or snowboard. But I mean, now we're old and retired. We can. But now we're too old. Our youth is gone.
Yeah, I don't to get hurt and not to get paid to get hurt or I broke my hand and only I was taking care of myself and it was terrible.
Yeah.
So I think I'm done like doing anything crazy. You know what I mean?
And if I can't play golf, it's like I might as well be dead.
Oh my gosh. I love golf. That's but I feel like you guys would like snowboarding.
I believe if a black dude gets injured snowboarding, he deserves it. Like, that's what I think. Like, sometimes it's like, yo, what happened? Like, bro, I broke my neck. Why? I went snowboarding. What the hell were you thinking? Like, that type shit. Like, I wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you got a point.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask for no, like, sympathy if I showed up from snowboarding hurt or surfing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's cool. Like, it's cool that you're out there snowboarding.
I agree with you that it would be cool. And I would love to have learned, but I feel like I just missed the boat.
And I just feel like big black dudes, everybody's going to be like, why are you here? Like, you know what I mean? I don't like interrupting peaceful moments. You know what I mean? I'm like,
hold on.
Straight up, I don't.
I got to tell the story. I got to tell the story. My man, he put on his Instagram, he said, for all my non-black people followers, what is the one thing that black people do that annoys you? And one response, it was amazing. He said, the guy responded, what is this thing where you guys talk with the speakerphone on in public? Why do you do that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't.
And we're disturbing the peace. Exactly what you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get bad. The Uber drivers, they rate me bad when I'm in the backseat talking crazy. You know what I mean? On the speaker, straight up.
Yeah, all the time. I don't care. Like, if I'm on the go, you're hearing my conversation. I don't give a shit. Like, listen to this.
All right, back on. I got to ask you this question because we always say, like, people ask us what are our top arenas to play in. So what are your top 5 U.S. and international snowboarding destinations? Like, where should we go?
Well,
or where should we not go since you like danger?
Yeah, and then what's your top 5 cities to shop in since you be shopping up a storm?
Ooh, okay. Well, I would say my favorite resort in America is probably Mammoth. I love Mammoth. I grew up, once I started training to become a professional halfpipe snowboarder at Mammoth Hub. So I love it there. And also a great place for you guys to learn because there's a lot of variety in terms of difficulty. Like, you could fully go on a bunny slope that has 0 incline and just super slow. So definitely go to Mammoth. I can set you guys up with instructors and everything too. So
do they have bunny slope competitions?
Do bunny slope competitions?
Yeah, because I don't want to be wasting my time and not getting like a medal.
Right. Okay. We could set that up 1,000%.
All right, cool. Make sure I win.
Well, yeah. I want to see this happen now. This has to happen after our talk. Like, you guys.
We can make it happen.
We can make it. We can actually make it happen. Our EP is probably already trying to figure out how to make that happen. So we'll probably go out there and we'll do that for sure. If Dre shows up, I'll definitely show up. It's getting Dre to show up. That's
something I would like to do.
Yeah, if Dre says yes, it's happening.
Yeah, I would.
If not, we'll see you by 2030.
Well, I'm taking this as a handshake deal, set in stone. We're going, so I'm happy. We're doing it.
We got to do the snowboarding. Because you can do this in Aspen. You can snowboard in the morning and then play a golf round in the afternoon.
Okay. We could do that. Mammoth also has a golf course. Beautiful.
Mammoth. We're going to Mammoth.
We're going to Mammoth. And then I would say international, gorgeous. I love Switzerland. Obviously, I grew up there, but the snow is just incredible and the mountains are so beautiful. I actually just bought a couple of properties out there because I love it so much, and it's somewhere that I would love to spend a lot of time as I go older. But yeah, Laux is gorgeous. It's an hour and a half away from Zurich, so it's easy to get to. Amazing snow and incredible for, snowboarders or freestyle, skiers, snowboarders. Because a lot of places don't like us.
No, why not?
I don't know. Like, there's some resorts in Utah you can't go as a snowboarder. They just...
Yeah, well, I mean, they also charge $15 a shot for Hennessy. So, like, out there, it's just, like, legitimate.
He's been talking about this for, like, 4 seasons. This is our 4th season. And every season, he brings up this alcohol that they charge them in Utah.
Yeah, because it's targeting. So when people are like, you're not allowed to do this, I'm like, of course. And they also charge this much for, like, there's no fun. You know what I mean? I believe that. I actually believe that.
Wait, but you're just getting Hennessy at a bar?
Oh, I'll get Hennessy and Coke. It depends on the night, but like, yeah.
Let's see. I'm a big cocktail person. Like, it needs to be sweet. I'm a baby.
Really? If I drink, I'm drinking to get drunk. So it's not like I'm not sitting there like I was showing up. I should have been drunk hours ago. So I'm trying to get there. So yeah, I'm old school.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I feel like you would love Switzerland also. I don't know how much they charge for Hennessy out there, but I don't know if it'll be $15.
Dre and I, we went to Lake Como a couple years ago, and Switzerland was right around the corner, correct? Yeah, so we want to get out there eventually because obviously Dre's a big watch guy, so Geneva is his little that's his little destination.
One of my partners is Breitling, so
nice.
Geneva, yeah, really cool. Yeah, what a great place. Honestly, love Switzerland. And shopping, I remember that because I could talk shopping all day. I would probably say Paris has been big. Love shopping in Paris. Also, I'm not mad at South Coast Plaza, though. I'm not going to lie. I've
been there a few times.
Yeah, I love it there. They kind of have everything you need. They also have a Din Tai Fung. I love Din Tai Fung. So I'm always, putting my name down, going shopping for an hour and a half. That's how long you have to wait for Din Tai Fung.
Now, I'm ignorant to Din Tai Fung, so you're going to have to explain to me
what
I
was going to act like I knew. I'm like, yeah, I go all the time.
You guys don't know Din Tai Fung? I need to get off this call. I can't speak to you guys anymore.
Blame Rob Pelinka, because he took me out there and he didn't mention this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Din Tai Fung is a soup dumpling place. And everyone goes crazy for Din Tai Fung. I've had, super high-end, like, dumplings here, had a whole range of soup dumplings, and it's one of my favorite foods. So Din Tai Fung is my favorite place.
Okay, I did have a great dumpling place in Vegas at the Aria. It was my first time like having true like soup dumpling. I never really experienced it. This was 6-7 months ago. So and it was really, really good. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I haven't had this experience. And I heard they might pop out the most dumplings on earth now. I heard some number they do. That's crazy. It's in the Aria.
So they're in the control of dumplings in Las Vegas.
They said they have the most dumplings that are sold, I don't know, in some area. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel like Vegas has that title for a lot of things.
Right, because there's so many tourists, people just in there all the time. So
there's so many people all over the place. But I want to see you guys write this down right now. You have to go to Din Tai Fung. We gotta
get to.
Yeah, you gotta spell it first.
Southwest Plaza's far out.
Okay. Din, D-I-N.
Okay, I got a friend named Din.
And then Tai, I think it's T-A-I, Fung, F-U-N-G.
Oh,
Din
that's
Tai.
Copy. I got it.
And the trick is, because they're mostly in the bigger malls, so the trick is you go, put your name down, because they'll be like the wait time's 95, 100 minutes, something crazy. You put your name down, you go shopping, and then when you get your text, because they send you a text when your table's almost ready, you rush over and get your table and have the best meal of your life. It's like kind of stressful, but it's fun. Because it also like, controls your shopping because you have to wait for something, you know?
No, 90 minutes of us shopping is a problem. That's a lot of... They're burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, who you telling? Yeah, I only shop for 15 minutes for
Yes.
real, and I get what I need.
Everything I need.
Yeah. And I'm
I
like,
think
man, I'm tired. Like,
Well, now I don't even try things on anymore. It's just if I like it, I get it. And then if I try it on at home, I'll just return it because I can't do the whole fitting room, like changing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hate that too.
They made me feel like something was wrong with me. They were like, "You want to try it on?" I was like, "I don't try on clothes. No, I'm past that experience."
Yeah. Or like the whole thing, like, how are you doing? How's your day? Do you want champagne? No, just get my double X. Give me a 54. You don't even need to bag it up. I'm wearing it tonight. Just
Now,
give it
see,
here.
I get impatient with them too. I'm like, can you guys just give it to me? Like, I don't, now you have to put ribbons on it and shit. And now I have to like go home and throw this big ass box away, throw all the shit away to like get my tank top that was overpriced, but whatever. And then they're trying to bring me champagne like it's 11.
Or also too, Drea tell you a couple years ago, they were taking his clothes to the back, and then all his clothes weren't ending up in a bag.
And it ended up they ended up in the consignment shop.
Yeah. They was
It's
doing
a trick. It's a trick. They were doing this trick in Miami.
Yeah, the Webster. They did it to me too. And then like on
so
the
they
side,
were selling it at the Webster's. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I buy a bunch of stuff, and then they wrap it up, and then when you get back, I'm like, wait, where's my sweater and where's my pants and where's this? And then you call them like, hey, you didn't put everything in the bag. And they're like, yes, you did. You must have lost the bag. And there was a scam. They were just selling it to cosigner. Yeah. But the guy that did it to me, I found out because I made a complaint. I called corporate. I wasn't playing. He got fired. Yeah, he got fired.
Wow. Okay, now I'm kind of paranoid. I haven't heard of that before.
no, yeah, they do you dirty. I mean, it's always NBA scams. Like
Yeah,
it's
they do with
always
NBA
something.
players.
There'll be another thing. It's like another scam ring that happened to NBA players. It's like, damn, G.
I know. What is up with that? I feel like people just want to just hate athletes sometimes. Even for me, I had this weird thing happening at my bank, and I was like, and then I'm telling my friends about it. They're like, yeah, like I heard these days, you know, people are doing shady stuff when it comes to athletes, especially like young athletes. I'm like, why?
It's almost like a compliment. You getting too much money. You're too talented. You work too hard in life. Why you want to work so hard?
No, for real.
Yeah.
People, like even when you move in nice neighborhoods, you be getting hated on by like a 65-year-old. It's like, take it easy, champ. Like
It
it's
took
cool.
you 30 years to get there, and it took you 5.
I know. I got screamed at recently for running. I'm like, am I not just going to run? Like, now I'm a skinny, like, what? Like, why are you screaming at me, like, body shaming me? I'm just going on a run. Like, I'm an athlete. I need to train. It's just crazy. People just, I can't.
I think people got too, it's too many opinions, and they're allowed to speak it. Back in the day, you could tell people shut the fuck up, and now it's like it's foreboding. You know what I mean? It's like foreboding. So
People too more. Like, I feel like now as I've gotten older and I've just dealt with so much bullshit, I'm like, I'm just going to start telling people to shut the fuck up because it needs to be said sometimes.
No, you have sponsors.
Or not shut the fuck up, but you can ask somebody and be like, look, bruh, you came up in here and I let you rock. Like, I let you rock. I let you do your thing. The fact that you bothering me is beyond me. How did we get here? And that's a real question. Like, how did we get here, dog? I left you alone and now you bothering me. How?
I always want to bother the unbothered. That's the thing. It's like they want everyone to be bothered. Like, they're also bothered. And I'm like, all right, well. And it works. I have a short fuse, you know? I'm bothered now. Now I'm not.
So before we get out of here, looking forward to, I guess what you have next going on in the next couple of years, but even, the Olympics in 2028, what 2026, I'm sorry. What does it look like for, Chloe Kim? What's her 2-year goals? What does she really want to knock off? Is it a degree? Is it, who knows, more snowboarding or surfing or skateboard? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I think this will be my third Olympic, so I'm really excited about that. Obviously, I'm hoping for the best results, so there will be a lot of training involved, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but nothing I'm not used to at this point. I've been snowboarding for 20 years now, so I can't believe I've done this for so long. It always gets to me. I'm like, there's no way. Like, my whole life I've been snowboarding and I'm still doing it. And how lucky am I to be able to just continue doing it and be able to continue making it a career? But I think the biggest goal for me now is redefining what it means to me. I think that for a really long time, I only cared about the wins or results and whatever followed those, accomplishments. But I think now I just want to have fun again and not think too much about it. And I feel like when I'm having fun, I snowboard at my best. So, those two things go hand in hand. And yeah, I think it'll be a lot more just like fun trips to a new mountain I've never been to, or, making sure that I'm surrounded by good people when I am snowboarding and being more kind to myself. Me just being Korean and growing up in a Korean household, it's very, they have very high standards.
You said it, I did it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but I think now my parents are more chill now, except for the fact that they still want me to go.
You got to go back to school.
I got to go back to school for the next 8 years of my life, whatever. But aside from all of that, I think I just want to have fun and enjoy what I'm doing again and seeing where that takes me.
Dre, are you going to go back to school?
I thought about it like a bunch, and there is a job that is in my sight now, like in the last week. Somebody wanted to throw it into the universe, patience. And I'm wondering, do I need to have a degree to get it, to get that job? But it's like 10 years away. So I got plenty of time.
My mom tried to ask me to do it. I'm like, Mom, I'm too cool for that shit. And she like slapped shit out of me. She's like, you getting you a degree. I'm like, all right.
No, what is with our parents?
Like, no, I'm too cool for all that, lady.
My mother told me I promised her that I was going to get my degree. I was like, wait, what? Like, all right, cool. So if I go back and get my degree, you got to give me the house I gave you back, because I never promised that. So which one you want?
No, I just want to be like, Mom, idiots got degrees. That's what I'm saying. I want to be like, fools got degrees, lady. They ain't got money in their pocket. No, I'm just joking. Let me stop. But
no, but that is so true, because I have a lot of friends. Like when I went to Princeton, I obviously am surrounded by the most intelligent people in America. And just seeing some things I saw while I was there, I'm like, you guys are getting A's in all of these crazy classes 1,000%, but like, you don't know how to do your laundry. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's almost like they just studied their whole lives, which is fair. There's a lot of things I don't know how to do because I've snowboarded my whole life, but it's just crazy seeing it in that sense. Cause I'm like, wow, you guys are, this is interesting. I knew one person that gave away their entire bank login information as they passed with flying colors, like all of the hardest classes. And I'm like, you gave your bank login information to a stranger on a dating app because he promised $500.
It's like what Kanye says, people graduate and be still stupid. You know what I mean? Message. No, straight up. But no, that is crazy. So sports teaches you a lot. Like, people say what they want and they try to downplay sports. But I'm like, bro, I've been disciplined since I was a kid. I've learned I'm goal-oriented. And shoot, I know how to take criticism, or at least look at criticism and go back in like day in and day out and keep building towards something. And at least enough to reach an elite level. You know what I'm saying? It
keeps you accountable too. Like, in life, I feel like if you have a little hiccup here, you might get away with it. But in sport, you do a little mishap. And for me, it's like I'm falling on my head.
Yeah, well, and in school, a D is still passing. You saw Tommy boy. It's like, shit, congrats on a D, Tommy. And it's like, no, G, this is, your doctor was a dumbass. Like, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah, but I don't think I'll be pursuing my my parents' like dream of me becoming a lawyer, but who knows? I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I could be like Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde one day.
My daughter made me watch that movie.
That's the only lawyer I want to be. So if I can't be that, then I'm out.
Point. Forward.
So, you know, like when you're a male athlete and you come up with notoriety and you have to, you know, your girl wants you to like make their social media page and you have to be like, hold on, wait. Is there like certain levels or limits before you make your relationship public? Or is that like a real thing when it comes to popularity? Or you like, hold on, shorty, like this ain't a good looking thing?
I think I've learned so many things throughout my relationships that I've had, and, you know, being public, not as public, whatever. And I feel like there's more benefit in keeping it just to ourselves and sharing it. It really came from my last relationship, just seeing the amount of, you know, death threats that he was getting and like stalkers and people just getting obsessed with the fact that I'm not available and I'm not single. It was weird. And I think a lot of women deal with that, especially, you know, as the minute they're in relationships or like married or whatever, people just like men go crazy because all of a sudden like they can't have us anymore, and it makes them spiral to the point where I lived in a condo at the time and I had to move because somebody there was telling me like he was gonna kill me if he saw me. He literally lived building, and it was a whole thing, and I ended up moving out because I felt so uncomfortable. And I think as I get older and like as relationships become more serious, I just want to be more protective of that and just not. But like I'll do like cute little things, you know, like low key, like no name, just like, oh, here's the back of his head.
Who's the Asian girl on Instagram? Well, she be going to mannequins and then she put like a meme over their face, the emoji over their face, and she be like, "Oh, my boyfriend," but it's a mannequin. Yo, she's the funniest. She got like 1 trillion followers.
I don't know.
You need to send me her page.
Point. Forward.
TikTok or like content was just so good during COVID. We needed it, but
now it's poisoning our brains. We got to go back to the real world.
No, the world is creative. I be enjoying that bullshit.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Like, people are so creative, and you'd have no idea. Like,
I'll be up at 3 a.m. smacking the bed laughing. Like, man, it's just, this. I send Dre like 100 like posts a day. So like while he's working, he's like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, what's up with your algorithm? He's like, what's up with your algorithm? He's like, where are you finding this?
oh my gosh. Well, I would love to like get lunch or something with you guys. We could do a big thing if you're.
No, we're gonna really do that. We're gonna really do Mammoth. Let's do Mammoth. We're dead serious. We're really gonna do it. Let's actually do that. We'll get that going.
Yeah, I'm thinking I actually do set you guys up with an instructor, and I'll come see how y'all are doing, because I'm a horrible teacher. I'll just send you down a black diamond and.
No, I know that means. I know what that means.
Yeah.
Your boy Derek, he got addicted to snowboarding.
Man, shout out, bro. That's what we're in this conversation.
Then he tore his like ACL. He was like, I never do it again.
He got wide ass hips. That's why he tore his goddamn ACL. You talking about he was 6'5", black as hell with a badass body on a snowboard. That's the fuck he get. He got a torn Achilles too.
He went down to Black Diamond.
Yeah, that's not Derek's only problem, bro. Tell Derek get the fuck up out of here. All right, Chloe. That's the craziest shit you ever told me, G. If you see our apprentice built, bro, he built like a penguin. You talking about he tore his knee up? No shit. Why didn't you call somebody? Where was the instructor at? Where were the people at? Like, golly, bro, that's like a baby walking in traffic. Like, who watched this shit?
No, he got good. He was really good.
No, he did not.
He was on a black diamond.
No, he was black on a diamond.
He was at this.
So, no, he did not. Stop, bro. All right, bro, we can talk about something else. Let's just get up out of here.
Point. Forward.
Chloe, we appreciate the time. We look forward to seeing you in Mammoth. We look forward to seeing you in 2026. Best of luck with everything. We had such a blast today. And tell that secret special person that we all know, thanks for connecting us.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. That was so much fun, and I'm so excited to hit the slopes with you guys.
Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung.
Yes.
I can't wait to have wet bread coming out of soup, and I'm hoping it's soup broth and not spit.
It's the best. You're gonna love
it. All right, bad.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
See you, Chloe.
Take care.
See you later.